Hey, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts and this is True Divine 4-4. I appreciate you all being here and thank you for commenting, sharing, liking, and of course subscribing. So this is where I put out the daily content on a daily basis to help support, guide, and inspire those who want to be supported, guided, and or inspired. And I take what resonates because it is general, leave what does not, and do comment as to how you are resonating with the energies, whether they correlate to the reading or not, because opening up dialogue, sharing truths, sharing perceptions, opinions is important, and it's something that we need to do now more than ever. So I welcome it to happen here on my channel, and I love hearing the comments, and I think I've got the wisest, most open-minded friends that come here ever. And I might be a bit biased, but I also know I am completely 100% correct. So this is for the 29th of April 2021. I've not been on for a couple of days. I'm really sorry. I kept getting I needed to talk about serious stuff. And I like fun, and so I kept getting distracted. The energy just wasn't in it for that, and I needed to just diffuse and have some time of where it's just me dancing. And so I've danced for a few days, gotten a few appointments out of the way, and so here I am back. We have got on the bottom of the deck the Star card, and on the other bottom of the deck we have the Death card. Two major arcanas. This reading's full of major arcanas. So the Star card, you can see, it's all about creating those circuits to be able to transmute. But the Star card is naked. I'm in the midst of designing a deck with my mum that I've been doing for a while now, and obviously with everything else it takes time. My mum is a fabulous artist that has gotten a lot of accolade over the years, and so she has the Star card. She has the Star card. I'll have to find the thing of it, the print of it, and show you. But she has it very beautiful, very naked, but with the scars shown, with the wounds shown. You come through to the Star card after harsh periods of time. In this energy, it is about healing, and it's not about healing superficially. It's not about doing it to look good, feel good to others, and even to pretend to yourself. The Star card is unapologetically naked and unapologetically able to take notice, open about the wounds and the reasons that they are there. And it is a cleansing energy. It's an energy where, done correctly, you feel the lift, the light weightedness, the ability to float, compared to how previously, as you come into the Star card energy, where it's been turbulent, where it's been very disturbing, where it's been very hurtful. You come into this energy and create this circuit of truth and honesty and integrity to self, with the ability to be able to look clearly and concisely and compassionately at the wounds that you are carrying, and to not be even embarrassed to yourself. And we do get, it's ridiculous, we get embarrassed to ourselves to look at things that have hurt us honestly, and how they had the ability to do so, why we maybe attracted them in. So this is a really powerful energy for today. And you see she's got one knee and a foot on the ground, and another knee touching the elbow, and then the foot into the pool. And she's pouring the two jugs, creating this circuit board of energy of where she's grounding and fertilizing the ground with the emotion, with the water that is representative of the wounds being transmuted. And she's also digging into her pond, her pool of consciousness, of subconsciousness, of emotion, of a body of water that carries all of those memories that have that are within these needs, these wounds for healing. And you can see that the pond has this circular, like a pebble going into the pond, a circular motion coming out from the middle. And this is where the frequency itself within the water is being transmuted and changed and uplifted. And she has the energy of the enlightenment, of the star, of the spark. There's a spark of hope in this card, and there's hope for good reason, because you are completely capable and able to get into this energy so deeply today that you can absolutely rid yourself of the things that have limited you, held you back, made you feel self-conscious, made you have a low self-esteem, made you continuously make decisions that put you back in the same place, in the same energies, in the same lessons. This is where you truly are able to let go of all of those, and not just let go of them, forget them and bury them, but have them as a memory within this body of water, but with a completely different frequency attached to them. So those lessons, those wounds then become lessons and experiences that actually make you stronger. And this is where my mum depicted the star card energy as a warrior. It is a warrior energy. To be able to be truly honest with ourselves and look at our deepest fears, our deepest wounds, our deepest disappointments is a very, very strong thing to do, especially with the outside forces that are continuously trying to get us to not do that, trying to get us to continuously play the victim role within our own lives. This is where you really understand today that you are the main character of your experience, that you are the one that is writing your story and are able to right your wrongs as you perceive them and create them to be something that is fantastic and great for not just you, but as an example to those around you of just how to do this kind of energy, just how to use it for all that it's worth. So that is a real powerful card. I'm just going to say underneath that card is that Five of Cups that's kept coming up. So for those that resonate with this today, this is a day for you to really sink yourself, envelop yourself in this energy, in this process, because the strength and abundance of newness, of renewal is huge today for you. So we've got baby angel. Okay, you're awake. So we've got Theodore, and we've got the Emperor card. Very much like Theodore, the one that creates the rules, the one that sets the boundaries. Now, immediately what came into my mind with this card is this is the authority. This is the Emperor, the foundation. And so where are you setting your own foundations and your own authorities, where we are very quickly from the collective stage being oppressed, suppressed, and having our rights stripped away? Where are you making your stand in your own life first, in your own individual life first, to take your authority, to make that foundation strong and firm, have your boundaries set, particularly in relationships, whatever kind, you can't do that for the mic, baby, whatever kind of relationship that may be. Go underneath, go underneath, go underneath. Okay, that's it. Okay.
So now it feels more comfortable.
Does it feel more comfortable now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
a good job. Everybody adores you. The adorable. So, where are you setting those boundaries in relationships, whatever the relationship might be, particularly, love, friendships, but family, business, however it resonates with you. But what also came to mind from much wider than the collective stage is Big Daddy Saturn came into my mind when I looked at this Emperor card. And I felt a sadness. I felt a bereft energy. And what I heard was that we have the energies of these planets, we have the strengths of them, we have the oppositions of them, we have the different energies, just like the relationships with us, where we become different people around different sets of people within our own lives. You know, you're very different with certain friendship groups as you are your granny. You're very different with your mom and dad as you are your boss, you know. So that we bring with those are like the oppositions and the connections and the lineups of the planet. We bring out different attributes and different personalities, literally with different people. And so it does speak of that they are very much like us. They go through these energies that sometimes are very oppositional, that sometimes are very confrontational, and others where they really meld well together and have a bit of fun. And so Saturn is known to be, you know, this the ruler of time, Big Daddy Time. And you can see that with this white beard, you know, representing wisdom and representing it being grown over time. And we talk about the black cube of Saturn here, and it feels like, just like everything else, for too long, when these hijackers came into this realm, they have put a veil, put a lens over the real essence of a planet, or the real essence of our divinity, our super strengths, our powers. And so just like us, just like how we have been degraded and misrepresented and used and abused, we have been also seeing that from Saturn's point of view, in that this authority, this foundational energy, that if we were directly connecting to the as above, so below, and exchanging energy like that star card and using each other's attributes, I feel we would have a very different Daddy Saturn. And so it's important for us to see through those veils. Or you get comfortable, put your arm around there. Okay. So we've got the Six of Cups to clarify the Emperor card. I do apologize, Mummy Tarot. So the Six of Cups to clarify the Emperor card. And so this speaks of the past, and it speaks to emotional connections that we have to the past. And from the wider stage point of view, for generations after generations after generations, we have been emotionally connected to different things that have actually sought to mislead and misrepresent and oppress and control us. And we are directly linked to those with emotional cords of the past. You know, we've had those feel-good adverts during the war, you know, of oh, let's all stick together and keep calm and carry on. And so it brings back energies, because we have those connected with grandparents who went through the war. It brings back sort of a pride in what we did in the war, and it also is much easier for us to be misled as to why that war, World War II, World War One, why those wars and the present ones going on, why they really happened, and what our emotional connection says, because we are easily led by these lenses and veils that take away the power of the subject behind them. So it's really important for us right now to use this energy for all that it's worth, while we are going through what seems like the losing end of a battle. And you can put this into your individual life also. While we are doing this, there is the energy also in duality of true liberation, of true disconnect from all that is false. Now that's not easy, because there's a lot of things that they've made real nice, and even people around us who aren't really working well and don't really represent us well. There's aspects of them that, you know, have made it real nice, real comfortable to be connected in that specific way to that person, to that thing, to that construct, to that system. So it's important for us to really have a clear-minded, and this goes back to the star card also, clearing out those emotional connections that have actually maybe seem nice on the outside, but cause quite a lot of wounding, cause cause quite a lot of victimhood mentality in our lives, and in the ability for outside forces to use those, like the six puppet strings, the six, the man, and to puppet us into different directions. And so we've got on the bottom of the other deck, the clarifying deck, this death card. So we go back to that also. With that star card energy and the death card here, this is actually a beautiful combination in that it really is letting go of all of that old skin. Debriding a wound came to mind. You know, I was a nurse, and so I used to not like people in pain, but I used to love debriding a wound because it is satisfactory to take off any rot, to take off any infection, and be able to let the flesh breathe and do its job, do its thing, to heal, to truly heal. And when you're healing up a wound, what came to me was, you see this skeleton figure here, and some of the wounds I dealt with were so deep, and we had to, one of them was for a pineal sinus, and we had to layer up this gel day by day, and then every few days, because we needed to be able to not let the skin just cover it over and leave a cavern, a hole, a space that didn't belong there, that could then fill up with poison, that could then be injected with poison through emotional connections, emotional cords that do not serve. And so we had to do it layer by layer. So it is a process. But being able to have the energy of the death card and the star card, you've already done a lot of the debriding, and from the wider stage, they are actively doing a lot of the debriding themselves because of their ridiculousness, because they are being so brazen, because they've gone into full psychopathy. They don't even know how brazen they are being. And so this gives us this true opportunity in the duality of the situation in our individual lives and from the wider stage to truly heal up those wounds layer by layer, leaving no cavern, leaving no opening that doesn't belong there, that can then be injected with a mentality, with thinking, with a belief system, stop it baby, with a belief system that does not serve, and ultimately turns to poison, to rot, to death in a way that, you know, death on its own. But in this case, it would be a death of that thing that doesn't serve us. It would be a death of that old skin, like a snake shedding its skin in order to grow, in order to glow. You know, Abigail's snake, although I can't hold her, she's beautiful, HEKATE, and she sheds her skin. And I use it a lot in magic, and she sheds her skin and she goes all blue at first, you know, when she's starting to get ready to shed. And then she sheds her skin and she's like this sunburst orange, just glowing and beautiful. But Abigail recognizes that although HEKATE wants to be out every single day, during that time in her cycle, during that time where she is letting go of that is constricting her now, she doesn't want to be touched just beforehand, and she needs about 3 or 4 days afterwards because she's new, she's tender. And so it's important when you're going through these energies to be ritualistic, to be in reverence of self, and to be compassionate through this. And I think from the wider stage, we have to recognize and give each other compassion where we can find it, because there are a lot of people that are so connected to these lenses that don't serve, to these lenses that have been put into these systems by these hijackers, and that in our individual lives, we're then dealing with people that are doing the same thing. It takes a lot. It's layer by layer. And so this is where the true compassion for self lies, and finding each other, like on this channel, the family that we are creating, finding each other and having the ability to talk and just know that you're not alone in doing this is a huge boost to this kind of layer by layer healing. So I hope that makes sense for those that needed to hear that. But we've got after that Knight of Pentacles. So there we go, come from a very emotionally, intuitively connected, very spiritual aspect of passing over different realms, letting go and leveling up, to then a very constructive, very strategic energy. And so this is where, again, we're layering up those elements in order to find the right way with strategy, with discernment, with that Emperor card, letting go of the things that don't serve from the past, and truly being able to innerstand and being open-minded enough, like the Emperor in his upright position is, to be able to listen to alternative truths than that which we've been told in our individual lives and on the wider stage. So then we come back into this other strategic energy, where we are able to, with a very clear mind, plot a way forward. And it's pentacles, it's earth, it's the reality that you are in. And so decisions made are made that with that strategy, with that very earthy energy, with that very grounded energy. You can see the horse is standing square, it's grounded. The Emperor is on his square throne, it's grounded. Think of the number 4. The Emperor is the number 4, the 4 pillars, the 4 corners. Again, the black cube of Saturn that they have sort of used the energy of Saturn for, totally disrespecting the energy that Saturn is, in my opinion. We go to the 4, which is the Knight of Pentacles. I feel it's a very squared off horse. The four legs are very square and firm. And so to take thought and plan in reality, writing things down, finding the right pros and cons for the direction forward that you need to go in your individual life. And when we're considering as a collective, as many of the collective as there is, how we progress, how we go forward. This would be planning ahead. This would be earth. It would be about planting food. It would be about thinking of alternative ways of sourcing energy, just in case, all of those things and more. And it would also be in conjunction with, again, more cups, more intuition, not being afraid to use compassion to self and compassion to others in your decision making, yes, but being strong enough and whole enough with that star card energy and the death and the Emperor to be able to combine the two and not doubt your intuition, not doubt your gut feeling, not doubt your psychic nature. We find that the combination of this will set us on the right path, will give us the right impulses and impetus to go forward in a certain direction. Some of you might really be up against it with family members, with lovers around you that just do not see what needs to be done. And this can be very frustrating for those of you that resonates with. And so this is where we find the wisdom and the compassion in that we have to get used to the fact that there are going to be people who will never see what is happening until it's too late. And even then, they will very much still be connected to the narrative, to the storyline, either their own narrative that they've convinced themselves of, and or in combination with the narrative that they've been force-fed from being in the womb. So it's a difficult one, but, keep your cool, keep your strategy, and find a way for you to do whatever you need to do, regardless of anybody else's energy who is still in doubt about the need to do whatever it is you need to do. We've got the Temperance card. So again, it's more cups, but it's about balancing and transmuting the energy. You can see again, there's this pool of water with one foot in and the toes on the ground also, whilst pouring the 2 cups. This is the Alchemy card across the heart chakra. It's an Aquarian energy card, so it's about speaking wisdom, speaking powerful thoughts into your body of water in order to stay balanced, in order to be able to transmute those difficult energies that you might be faced with in your physical reality that that are combative towards your spiritual side, your psychic nature, or doubtful towards that nature and that side of you. So this is where you find your peace within that. You can see here that the water is it's more vibratory, and so it's not that steady frequency here, the layer by layer. This is a lot of energy in the water, a lot of emotions in the water, quite choppy, but still being able to transmute that into a steady stream. So even the most negative energies, being able to transmute the most negative energies and the most positive energies into more of what will be good for you is absolutely necessary always, but in particular right now. We've got the Four of Cups. So with the 2 cups there, that would make the 6. So it goes back to this 6 of Cups, and it goes back to the 4, the Emperor. So we've got, yeah. Wow. So we've got the 6 of Cups. If you look at the 2 cups that the Temperance cards hold in, and the 4 of Cups that clarifies it, takes us back to transmuting the energies that we've been so indoctrinated to accept through our emotions, using the emotions against us, and in some cases ourselves, many cases ourselves, using our own emotions as a weapon rather than something that is of a power source in order to create wholeness, in order to create temperance, in order to create balance, and in order to create and understand the power that we have to transmute energy into an energy, this chair, an energy that works for us rather than us working for it. And this is where the power is today, to be able to take a hold of your emotions so strongly and hold them in the true Saturn energy, the true Emperor-like energy. So hold them to authority, and hold the falsities that are within that body of emotion of water within you, holding it to account in order to be able to be honest, to heal, and then with the Death card, let go. Think in strategy to be able to keep your cool, but fully accept and lean into you as your psychic self, as your emotional self in the best possible way, as your compassionate self, as your poised self with grace, with this Temperance card, creating even the most negative energies into something that is of a positive nature. Now with the 4 of Cups clarifying it, it does speak of some of you not quite getting how much power there is in this for you today, to be able to see the alternative cup, to be able to see that all is not lost and it's not over until it's over. And however those words resonate with you today, it's something that you should keep repeating and repeating with power, that it's not over till it's over. And we continue regardless of what is going on, in spite of and because of what is going on around us and within us. We continue to grow stronger. We continue to get more connected to self. We continue to be more accepting of ourselves and the powers that we truly hold, letting go of those false veils and taking authority, sovereignty, and divinity over ourselves in every aspect, in every layer, in every body of self, earth, fire, water, air, and beyond. And recognizing that in order for them to get away with what they've been getting away with, when we're looking at individuals and the wider stage, in order for them to do that, we have misjudged some characters in history with this 6 of Cups. We have been led down the garden path, so to speak, to think a certain way, particularly with some iconic characters in the past. That keeps coming up for me. And it's given a space and a void for stagnant water, for that is false. and has created a whole heap of mess generation after generation. So it's not just us that have been misrepresented, oppressed, and controlled. This veil that has been put over so many aspects of our living, above us and below us, as above, so below, literally. Even the planetary elements, for those who haven't researched for themselves and gotten to know how to look through different aspects of life, different energies within each day through the lenses of the planets, which is super helpful, then we have a skew with view of the nature of that planet. We have a disconnect, and we cannot alchemize fully with that planet or those around us, the planets around us, the people around us, because we have this view that is of a manufactured nature in order to belittle the superhero powers that we do hold. So that's the reading for the 29th of April 2021. I appreciate you all listening. I appreciate you all putting up with little man. He's still not quite right after he was poorly. He's fine and all, but he's still recovering, and so he's still up and down. But yeah, he's fast asleep now, so I could go on another hour, but I'll not bore you. Please leave a comment. Let me know how the energies are with you today, and how they are interacting with you, how you're managing to get through them, and what you thought of this reading, how you see it reflecting on reality, and how you see people could use it for their good, and whatever else. I'm not even limited to what you want to say. So I think that is it. I've got so much to say, but I've got to put them in other videos. So I'll let you go. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Again, thank you for putting up with Mummy Tarot. Okay. Much love, much balance, and much wholeness. Today is a really powerful day for you to grab a hold of all of those in the greatest amounts, for your true love of self, for your true ability to be whole, and for your true ability to be balanced in everything that you do. Mwah.